My name is Jose Diosdado, and today I will be doing a case brief over Miranda versus Arizona 384 U.S. 436 from 1966. Let's start out with the relevant facts. Substantive facts. Ernesto Miranda was arrested at his home in Phoenix and brought to a special interrogation room where he signed a confession that contained a typed paragraph stating that the confession was made voluntarily with full knowledge of his legal rights and with the understanding that any statements that he had made might be used against him. However, Miranda was not informed of his right to remain silent or his right to have counsel present. Let's talk about the procedural facts in this case. At Miranda's trial in Arizona State Court, the confession was admitted in evidence and he was convicted of kidnapping and rape due to a written confession. When Miranda decided to appeal this decision, the Supreme Court of Arizona affirmed the lower court's decision, where the case was then elevated by writ of certiorari to the Supreme Court of the United States. The United States Supreme Court then reversed the judgment of the Supreme Court of Arizona and Miranda due to the defendants must be warned prior to any questioning that he or she has the right to remain silent, that anything that they say can be used against them in a court of law, and that they have the right to the presence of an attorney, and that if they cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for them prior to any questioning if they desire. Let's talk about the applicable laws questioned. The law questioned in this case surrounds the Fifth Amendment rights of constituents. Is the Fifth Amendment's protection against self-incrimination violated when a suspect is interrogated in custody without being informed of his right to remain silent and to have counsel present? The remedy sought. The plaintiff, the state of Arizona in this case, is demanding that Miranda's testimony admitting to the kidnapping and rape be admissible as evidence in the trial due to the manner that it was collected, not a violation of Miranda's Fifth Amendment rights. The defendant, Ernesto Miranda, pleaded that the testimony that was collected without him being informed of his right to an attorney or to be silent be inadmissible in court against him. The issue in this case, in a case involving interrogations to collect evidence and testimony, when a suspect is interrogated in custody without being informed of his or her right to remain silent or to have counsel present, the court should determine that the suspect's Fifth Amendment rights have been violated and that their testimony should not be admissible in court. The holding, yes. Reasoning. Under the Fifth Amendment, any statements that a defendant in custody makes during interrogation are admissible as evidence at a criminal trial only if law enforcement told the defendant of their right to remain silent and their right to speak with an attorney before the interrogation starts, and the rights were either exercised or waived in a knowing, voluntarily, or intelligent manner. The mere fact that the defendant may have answered some questions or volunteered some statements on their own does not deprive them of the right to refrain from any further inquiries until the defendant has consulted with an attorney and thereafter consents to be questioned. The rule of law in this. The facts remain that in the context of custodial interrogation, once warnings have been given, the subsequent procedure is clear. If the individual indicates in any manner that any time prior to or during questioning that they wish to remain silent, the interrogation must cease. At this point, they have shown that they intend to exercise the Fifth Amendment privilege, and any statement that is taken after the person invokes their privilege cannot be other than the product of compulsion, subtle or otherwise. The evaluation. While we can all agree that the state's argument appears to be a proper and very accurate argument on the surface, we must all still follow the law, respecting each other's constitutional rights. The police officer, in this case, simply violated Ernesto Miranda's constitutional Fifth Amendment rights, and therefore his testimony should not be admissible in court. I firmly believe that in order to secure fairness and justice for everyone should follow the law and respect each other's rights, especially our constitutional rights.